They say when the drum beat changes, the dance must also change with it. And in Nigeria today, a new drum beat has begun. It is not the sound of politics, not the echo of violence, but the rhythm of a new patriotism, led by a man who calls himself, or who now calls himself, General VDM. And you just need to see VDM, in his new regalia, showing the paraphernalia of that new title, General VDM. Some call him a fighter, some call him controversial. But one truth remains, VDM has never been afraid to say what others fear to whisper. And now, from the trenches of social media, he has launched something bigger, bolder, and louder. The Ratel movement and the Ratel Clubhouse, okay? And I'm sure for those of you who saw him in that maiden broadcast, yes, he actually had a maiden broadcast, and it was just fun, seeing him, do what he knows how to do best. It was just pure beauty to behold, okay? So for months, even years, many have said VDM is more than just one man. He is a movement, a one-man army firing shots of truth, confronting hypocrisy, and daring powers that be. But now, we see that this was only the beginning, because on this day, the Ratel movement has been born, and the man behind it has stepped into a new identity, General VDM. But this title befits him anyway. So in his maiden broadcast, yes, I'm going to bring you talk about that maiden broadcast. So in his maiden broadcast, General VDM announced that beginning from 29th November 2025, the Rattles would take over Nigeria. Yes, you heard me well. But listen closely, my people. He's not taking over with guns, not with protests, not with bloodshed. No. His words were simple. We are shutting down this country, not for violence, but for something never seen before. And what is this thing? You want to know, right? It is simple, yet powerful. Yeah, it's an art of patriotism never seen in Nigeria before. Every last Saturday of the month, routers across Nigeria, from Lagos to Kano, from Port Harcourt to Abuja, will pour into the streets, into the schools, into the gutters and drainages, armed with weapons, but they're not going to be armed with weapons, okay? But with brooms, shovels, and determination. They will clean, they will repair, they will preach discipline, and they will remind Nigeria that greatness begins with responsibility. In Abuja, the starting point have been chosen. Gwarimpa, Yanya, Maraba, Kubwa, Lugbe, and the rest. In the 36 states of Nigeria, the vision is the same, according to him, to awaken a consciousness that has long been buried under the rubble of indiscipline and complete neglect. And when I watched General Vidian speak about this, yes, goosebumps covered all my body. Yes, it was no longer the rant of a social media activist. It was the stirring of a leader, the echo of men who once walked this earth with fiery vision. I remember the likes of Martin Luther King Jr. with his dream, Thomas Sankara with his selflessness, Nigeria's General Idiagbon, yes, I think Tunde Idiagbon, yes, with his discipline. When I watched VDM, as I watched VDM, my thoughts started reverberating about the selflessness of Thomas Sankara, about this discipline of Tunde Idiagbon, and about the fiery vision of Martin Luther King Jr. Yes, you heard me well. Okay, so VDM 2 is calling for a new consciousness. One broom, one shovel, one street at a time. Okay, but where did this whole fire come from? You want to ask. The answer is almost unbelievable. Yes, you heard me well. The inspiration struck on the day VDM caught a man shamelessly pooing on the third mainland bridge. Yes, you sincerely remember very, very vividly that video that has now gone viral of that young man that he caught right. I think it was during the afternoon on broad daylight, point, right there. Okay. So he said that was when this inspiration, just came about. The inspiration struck him on the day VDM caught a man shamelessly pulling on the Third Milan Bridge, like I said, in Lagos. Crowds had passed him. Nobody spoke. Nobody challenged him. But VDM could not stay silent. Of course, you know VDM. He confronted the man, and the video, like I said, has gone viral today. Okay? But VDM, like I said, didn't keep silent. So in that moment, VDM saw something bigger. A nation where debt, indiscipline, and moral decay were everywhere. Yet no one spoke up. That was what he saw in that thing that man was doing, the poem. Okay? So he realized that if patriotism was alive, such acts would not go unchallenged. And I really agree with him on this. Because how do you see someone doing this sort of thing, during broad daylight, and you just walk past unchallenged? Even if he was mentally challenged, people need to have spoken to him. But I guess, like VDM has said, the level of patriotism in Nigeria, is really a big factor. That was why that man could do that unchallenged. Okay? So that movement bettered the Ratel movement in the way we now have it right now. Okay? So, and from November, the Ratels will march not to protest, but to rebuild dignity. They will repair broken chairs in public schools. They will fix blackboards that needs to be mended. They will clear dump sites. They will clear drainages and clean them up. Okay? So they will remind Nigerians that patriotism is not a government job. It's not just government job alone. Okay? And that is the fulcrum of this whole idea. Because VDM is of the view that we cannot leave politicians alone with rebranding this country or keeping this country clean again. And that is why, on behalf of the Routers movement worldwide, he has taken it upon himself to take this mantle, head on. Okay? So, like I said, he has even opened an online clubhouse. Yes. He has also talked about the online clubhouse, a headquarters where Ratels across the world can meet, deliberate, and plan interventions online. Okay? No politics, no distractions. Okay? So, according to him, this clubhouse will be strictly to discuss everything that has to do with this new initiative. They will not discuss politics, and they will not discuss any other thing outside the interventions. Okay? So, like I said, no politics, no distraction, just service, discipline, and patriotism. He said in Port Harcourt, he even released, in Port Harcourt, he went further to release a contact number for coordination. This is not just talk. This is VDM, or rather General VDM, in complete action right now. And for those of you who need that number, I'll find a way to put it out there for you guys to see. For those of you living around Port Harcourt, okay? So, and when you look around Nigeria today, you will see that every family already has at least one Ratel among them. The young people who share his posts, the mothers and fathers who nod at his courage, the elders who whisper, this boy is saying the truth. The question is, can this movement really take over Nigeria? Maybe, just maybe. When brooms replace bullets, when patriotism replaces apathy, when discipline replaces decay, then the routers will have taken over indeed. What does this mean for us? Yes, I'm asking. It means days of folding arms and blaming politicians are over. Yes, VDM is saying, this is our country. If we do not build it, who will? And truly, can one man alone clean a nation? Not at all. But one man can inspire millions to rise. And that is exactly what General VDM, as he is now known, has done. So in the end, movements are not built on titles, but on sacrifice. And when history is written, the courage of one man to confront a stranger on a bridge may one day be remembered as a spark that gave birth to a new Nigeria. Maybe I have to say it again. So I'm saying that in the end, movements are not built on titles, but on sacrifice. And when history is written, the courage of one man to confront a stranger on a bridge may one day be remembered as a spark that gave birth to a new Nigeria. Okay? So they say a single broomstick is easy to break, but together they sweep the compound clean. And this speaks about unity of purpose. The Ratels have begun. The call has been made. From the 29th of November, a new rhythm may shake Nigeria. Whether you love him or hate him, you cannot deny that General VDM, as is now known, has lit a fire. The only question left is, will you stand aside and watch? Or will you pick up a broom and join the Ratels in sweeping a new Nigeria into existence? Because history has shown us that sometimes it only takes one voice to awaken a nation. And that voice today is the voice of General VDM, the People's General. Okay? And with this, I'm going to just wind up by saying that, look, in most of my videos I've done before now, especially on the VDM, I've always said it, that VDM has grown beyond himself. I've always said it that VDM has now become a movement. Okay? And I'm not surprised at this material time that the movement itself has started being unbundled by VDM himself. So watching him, I mean, in that his maiden broadcast, when he was addressing Ratels worldwide, like I said, I felt goosebumps all over me. And I started remembering the days of yore when we had the likes of Martin Luther King Jr., when we had the likes of Sankara for his selflessness, when we had the likes of Tunde Idiagbon, of blessed memory, for his discipline in Nigeria. Maybe, just maybe, this is the beginning of another of such era. And I cannot just wait to see that unfold. I cannot wait for November 29th to come. I cannot wait to see a new Nigeria unfold before my very own eyes. This is about the best time to be alive in Nigeria. I tell you, my people, what do you think about this story that is emerging at this time? Please feel free to go to the comment section and leave your thoughts right there. And hopefully, yours sincerely will meet you right there to take this conversation further. God bless you as you do this. I'll be right back. Bye-bye.